Hi, hi. My name is Alex. I'm aware I'm being filmed and recorded for the purposes of training. I've read the client agreement and consent to be filmed. I give my full permission to be filmed within this capacity.
Thank you. Okay, thank you, Alex, for coming along. Today we're going to be exploring a technique called havening techniques, which is very good for releasing traumatic memories from past experiences, and will allow you to work through them in a way that gives you full control. And all I do as the havening facilitator is to help you understand how to follow the protocols in place, as well as explaining what's going to be happening during the session, and give you any opportunities to ask any questions whenever you feel you'd like to. So the process we're using today is called havening techniques. It uses distraction and touch for distraction to delink any memories. And there are particular protocols. In this particular situation, we're using a virtual world, and therefore your avatar will be placed on a simulation of the animation. And there are 3 ways that we use havening in terms of the application of something we call havening touch. Havening touch is the process of generating delta waves, which has a chemical cascade allowing trauma to be released. So the first part is havening touch, where you haven the face, which is the first area, and you also haven the arms, which is from the top of the shoulders down to the elbows, and then you can also haven the palms. These are the 3 places where we apply havening, either self-havening, which is where you apply it yourself, or via facilitated havening, which at these times it's not appropriate or possible to do facilitated havening because it involves us not being able to maintain a 2 meters distance, and so that's not practical at this moment. So the virtual world is a great way to enable us to work together as if we were working face to face, because your avatar will understand, will be put onto a pose ball, which is one of these purple cushions here that you see. And so the havening animation will kick off once we sit on these cushions. But before we do that, I would just like to get a brief history from you, you know, as brief as you can possibly make it. I know there's a lot to it, but if we could just start with the issue that you feel is the cause of your anxiety, and it is anxiety that you're suffering with, is it? Is that correct?
I'd say, yeah, predominantly it's anxiety, definitely, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, if you'd just like to tell us a little bit about the history of where this anxiety came from. And I know that we have actually spoken about this, but for the sake of the therapists who will be watching this, just give them a little potted history of your journey so far.
Yeah, of course. Well, definitely, as I've been, you know, because when I grew up, I grew up in quite a, you know, kind of a shielded family, you know, so it was a bit of a bubble, if you like. So, you know, both my parents were like fantastic, brought me and my brother up really well, and because of that, we never really got challenges really in family life growing up. Where the challenges started was definitely when I first had to start engaging with the outside world and with other people, and not always seeing where other people are coming from. And obviously, when you're very young and you're growing up, you learn through experience. So you become more adept in dealing with like different situations, dealing with different people. But definitely for me, it's been a really really hard learning curve, and definitely through school, college, university, even in employment I've been in. So we're talking, a good like, length chunk of time. I've had to learn to improve not just myself, but also looking back on a lot of these situations and trying to almost think to myself, was it something I did wrong? Was it just that individual? And how I can, almost learn from it really, and to try and make myself a better person. But I'm not saying it's easy. It's definitely been really difficult, and I definitely feel now a lot of my challenges come from quite a lot of these, not always very traumatic, but sometimes just little things that have come up over the years, that have really just built up into something that I do find quite challenging to let go even now. Even though now I feel quite content with my life, there are because these little challenges have built up over time. I do almost find it hard to completely let it go, or I keep thinking in my mind that there is still a need almost to think about it, and I can't really put a finger on it as to why. But yeah, that's pretty much in a nutshell kind of where I feel I'm at now, and just what's sort of happened in my life so far as to how I've got to this point.
Okay, great. So what I'm sort of picking up is that you've got these intrusive thoughts that come into your awareness and basically affect how you function that day. Is that correct?
Yeah, and it varies. It does vary. Some days, I'll feel totally fine, and I'll just get on with my day, get on with what I need to do. Much like same as everybody else. I just get on with my life and what I need to do. And then there are other days where maybe something happens that day, or maybe a snag or a challenge comes up, and it almost links to something that's happened in the past, or it's something I feel I can almost relate to in the past. And I don't know why, but there are some times where I just feel the urge to almost dig up the past, and to almost think, oh, why did this happen? Why do I feel it's reoccurring now? Or for example, definitely in the past, more recently, I used to get frustrated by how I felt I wasn't making the kind of progress with where I wanted to be in my life. Don't get those kind of thoughts nowhere near as bad now, but definitely did before the past few years. So yeah, I'd definitely say it's definitely something I feel is linked to things in the past.
When you get one of these feelings come up randomly and you're going through one of these episodes, can you give a name to this feeling? What is it? What is the general emotional label you'd give that?
I mean, I've no idea if there's a technical word for this, but how I describe it in my own words will probably be just digging up, having an urge to dig up the past, because I feel like there's something still there that I just can't yet bury, and I think, and I've realised fairly recently actually that I need to try and get myself into a state where, I have no regrets in my life, even though, it hasn't been easy. I need to try and, just accept the fact that, the past is the past, I can't change it, and that, all of these things happen for a reason, and that, there are positives that come out of, unpleasant experiences, even though, in the moment, they are like really awful, and they can be at times. I want to try and get into a state where, I don't look back on it almost in, I'm trying to think of the right word, just almost in, sometimes just in a sense of, just feeling just really let down, and, feeling like, I've had to like work, twice as hard as, as other people. So it's trying to get out of that kind of unhelpful thinking, really.
Okay. Well, you just said something there very interesting. You mentioned the fact that you were feeling let down.
I can have faith. I can move forward. I can move forward. I am moving forward. I am moving forward. I am moving forward. And I feel that's all that comes to mind.
Very good. I like the confident tone that you had at the end there, and changing it from what if to I can.
That's the thing, I found the connections as it went along. Slowly you could almost start to link the two. And I honestly didn't think it would be that straightforward. I didn't think it would flow that naturally, but yeah, I've definitely surprised myself there.
So how are you feeling now in yourself, in your body, and about yourself? How are you feeling?
I feel a lot more calm, and it's funny actually because today I kind of got a little bit frustrated, not personally, just with work and various challenges, and again it brought up it instantly kind of distilled quite a feeling of almost like, it was feeling like just quite, frustrated, finding work a bit of a chore, and I kind of finished the day feeling a little bit unfulfilled, but actually now that, I've just taken a bit of time just to step back from everything going on, and actually just try and think for, my own sort of space, and thinking, just trying to stop and pause and think, where am I going wrong with how I'm feeling? I definitely feel a lot more calm and relaxed now. And normally, even by this time, if I'd had a bad day at work, I'd still be dwelling on it. But I actually surprisingly feel pretty good, actually. And yeah, I definitely feel a lot more relaxed from, what's not been the most fulfilling day at work. So yeah, this has definitely helped massively. Just taking some time for myself, and and just actually stopping and thinking sometimes, which I definitely don't make the time to do that, and I should do it a lot more often for myself. So no, this has helped massively. I feel a lot better.